In a corner of the old house, an antique mirror stood, its surface etched with the passage of time. To the casual observer, it was a relic of the past, a mere decorative piece. However, those who gazed long enough saw more distorted figures, movement within the glass that defied explanation. When darkness fell, the mirror transformed, revealing a gateway to a realm where reality and the supernatural intertwined. Whispers, soft and chilling, seemed to rise from the depths of the mirror. Words unintelligible yet laden with a sense of foreboding. Curiosity quickly turned to dread as the mirror's influence began to spread throughout the house. Shadows seemed darker, footsteps echoed when no one was there, and unease settled like a heavy fog. The mirror's malevolent power grew stronger, manifesting as a figure, a twisted reflection that emerged with sinister intent. Those who dared gaze upon it were met with a piercing gaze that seemed to see into their very souls. It whispered promises of forbidden knowledge, of secrets beyond imagination. As the days turned into nights, the line between reality and nightmare blurred. The mirror's pull became irresistible, drawing the curious and the desperate alike. Some vanished, their reflections stolen by the malevolent force residing within the glass. With each passing day, the mirror's power grew, threatening to spill its darkness beyond the confines of its frame. As a desperate attempt to sever its connection to the living world, an ancient ritual was performed, its origins lost to time. But breaking the mirror's hold came at a cost, a sacrifice that would forever bind the destinies of those who dared challenge the supernatural.
The asylum, its looming facade hidden within the depths of the woods, whispered tales of despair to those who dared to listen. Once a place of torment and suffering, it stood as a grim monument to the past. Its halls, once filled with the anguished cries of patients, now echoed with haunting silence. A group of friends, bound by their shared fascination with the macabre, decided to venture into the asylum's forsaken halls. Armed with flashlights and cameras, they stepped through the decaying entrance, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. Dim lights flickered overhead, casting eerie shadows that danced along the peeling walls. The air seemed to thicken with the weight of forgotten memories as they navigated the maze-like corridors. The remnants of old equipment and tattered restraints spoke of a time when the inmates were subjected to unspeakable treatments. Whispers seemed to reverberate from the very walls themselves, carrying echoes of pain and suffering. Their flashlights occasionally caught glimpses of shadowy figures that disappeared as quickly as they appeared. Despite the overwhelming sense of unease, the friends pressed on, drawn deeper into the asylum's heart. As the night wore on, reality and nightmare began to blur. Distorted visions and inexplicable sounds played tricks on their senses. They stumbled upon an old room, its door creaking open as if inviting them in. Inside, they found a decayed patient record that spoke of experimental procedures that went beyond the realm of ethics. As the hours passed, tensions among the group escalated. Fear gnawed at their sanity, and the asylum seemed to feed off their terror. The boundaries between the past and the present faded, and the line between their own thoughts and the tormented memories of the asylum's inmates became increasingly indistinct. In their desperation to escape, they finally reached the asylum's heart, a decaying chamber where the most disturbing experiments had taken place. It was there that the veil between dimensions grew thin, revealing glimpses of the tortured souls that still lingered. Only one of the friends emerged from the asylum, his eyes haunted by the horrors he had witnessed. The others were never seen again, their fates forever intertwined with the asylum's dark past. The lone survivor's accounts were met with skepticism, dismissed as the ravings of a traumatized mind. But for those who had walked the asylum's corridors, the truth was far more terrifying than anyone could have imagined. In the shadows of the mountains, a town once stood as a testament to the passage of time. Its cobblestone streets and centuries-old buildings seemed frozen in a bygone era. But one day, without warning or explanation, the town vanished from the world. An investigator, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a desire to uncover the truth, embarked on a journey into the enigma. His path led him through dense forests and winding trails, where the air seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy. The deeper he ventured, the more the boundary between reality and the supernatural seemed to blur.
As he delved into the history of the town, he uncovered whispers of strange lights in the sky and eerie noises that had preceded its disappearance. The locals, few and far between, spoke in hushed tones about a portal to another dimension that had opened within the town's heart. His search eventually led him to an abandoned laboratory hidden within the mountains. Dust-covered notes and long-forgotten experiments hinted at a connection between the town's disappearance and a rift in the fabric of reality. The more he uncovered, the more he realized that the portal was not just a gateway, but a doorway that could unravel the very fabric of existence. As he continued his investigation, reality itself began to shift. Time lost its meaning, and the boundaries between dimensions grew thin. He found himself caught in a loop, reliving moments that had happened days before. Shadows seemed to dance at the edge of his vision, and whispers of forgotten lives brushed against his ears. In his quest for answers, he confronted the very forces that had torn the town from its roots. As he stepped through the portal, he found himself in a realm that defied human comprehension, a place where time was a fluid concept and the laws of physics were mere suggestions. In a final confrontation, he faced a being that was neither fully human nor entirely alien. It spoke of experiments gone awry, of the consequences of meddling with dimensions beyond human understanding. As the investigator attempted to close the portal and restore balance, he realized the sacrifice required was far greater than he could have anticipated. When he emerged back in his own world, the investigator found himself forever changed. He was haunted by the memories of the disappearing town and the secrets he had uncovered. The lines between reality and nightmare continued to blur, reminding him that some mysteries were never meant to be unraveled. In the attic of an old mansion, an heirloom doll lay forgotten among dusty memories. Its porcelain face, once adorned with innocence, had taken on a sinister gleam. Glassy eyes seemed to follow visitors with an unsettling intensity, and a twisted smile adorned its lips. At first, the changes were subtle. Objects shifted when no one was looking. Strange laughter echoed through empty rooms. But as days turned to weeks, the doll's malevolent presence became more pronounced. Scratches appeared on the walls, cryptic messages etched by unseen hands. The air grew heavy with an unexplainable sense of dread. The family's daughter, drawn by an inexplicable force, spent hours in the attic with the doll. She claimed to hear whispers, words that promised power and release. She became withdrawn, her once vibrant eyes now clouded with a darkness that seemed beyond her years. Desperate to break the hold the doll had over their daughter, the family sought the help of experts in the occult. They uncovered tales of ancient rituals that promised to sever the connection between the doll and the restless spirit it harbored. But the price of the ritual was steep, a life for a life. As the ritual began, the atmosphere in the mansion shifted. Shadows seemed to gather, and the air grew thick with anticipation. The family's daughter, once a vessel for the doll's malevolence, stood at the center of the ritual, her eyes vacant and her voice echoing with a chilling emptiness. As the ritual reached its climax, the doll's glassy eyes seemed to come alive, its porcelain face contorting into a grotesque expression. A force beyond human comprehension surged through the room, and the family watched in horror as the doll's grip on their daughter's soul was severed. But as the ritual ended, they realized the true cost of their actions. The family's daughter was gone, her essence lost to the same darkness that had once consumed the doll. The mansion became a place of sorrow and despair, haunted by memories and the echo of the malevolent spirit that had been unleashed. Years later, the mansion stands abandoned, a place where the line between the living and the dead is forever blurred. Those who dare to enter speak of whispers in the walls and an eerie presence that watches from the shadows. The malevolent doll, once thought to be defeated, continues to cast its dark influence, a reminder that some bonds are unbreakable, and some stories are never truly put to rest.